Today, Diana Ankudinova has moved me spiritually. She really has, because she's singing a song about a place that is special significance to me personally. If you look up in the corner, you will see a Buddha. I have a Buddha that I light candles with. I'm a Buddhist at heart. That is my spirituality. That is my belief. That is my faith. And it's a significant part of the region where Baikal and the spirits of Baikal and this video centers around, because it centers around one of the most important lakes in the world. And I'm going to give you a bit of history about it. We're just going to get straight into this. In southeastern Serbia, there's an amazing wonder of nature, Lake Baikal. It's so vast and deep that locals call it the sea, but its water is pure and fresh. A fifth of the Earth's fresh water is contained in this lake. Baikal is known as the Pearl of Siberia. It is home to many things. In southeastern Siberia, there's an amazing wonder of nature. It's so vast and deep, as I said, that locals call it the sea. But Baikal, because of this, is known as the Pearl of Siberia because of its national and world significance and importance. It's home to thousands of species of plants and animals, 2/3 of which can be found nowhere else on the planet. Despite environmental threats, the lake has preserved its purity due partly to the lack of large-scale tourism. Now, Mikhail Raskhodnikov, the director of the Trans-Baikal National Park, told myself, "We have about 30,000 visitors a year, CC, mostly those who prefer extreme kinds of tourism, because our roads and hotels and infrastructure is quite poorly developed so far. Everyone finds something special on Lake Baikal, something personal. Some come to admire its unique nature. Others come for the fishing, or to relax with the family, or for scientific purposes. Everybody that comes has a different goal. Before approaching the shoreline, one has to stop at a forest sanctuary to appease the lake's guardian spirits with an offering of fish, milk, and wine. The existence of good and evil spirits in the visible world is a core belief of shamanism, inherent to the native people of Buryatia. At their ritual gatherings, shamans go into ecstatic trance to communicate with the spirits and convey guidance from the supernatural realm. Head of Tegeria Barat Shaman Association, Pierre, and I hope I've said this surname right, and I ask all Russian people to forgive me if I pronounced it wrong in Serbian, Serendushev, said, "Shamanism is the traditional belief of our people, the Barat people, that our ancestors held from time immemorial, and our children will, I think, hold after us. Baikal is one of the holiest places for Siberian shamans. The very nature and the spirit of the lake are full of energy, CC, that links every person and all its descendants to the global force of the universe, the earth, and the people. The sacred lake size of Belgium completely freezes over in winter. Some ice lingers until the end of May, and the whole area remains cool throughout most of the year, providing perfect conditions for its diverse flora and fauna. The coast of the lake, which lies along the tectonic fault, is scattered with hot mineral springs. They are famed for their healing powers and have attracted people for centuries. The Zen tranquility of the place resonates in another main region of, and I'm hopefully going to be saying this right, Buryatia. Tibetan Buddha, and this is the piece that I have a soul connection with, is this. Tibetan Buddhism coexists with Shamanism and Christianity everywhere in the Republic, and its capital, Ulanud. I was told by an expert in religious organizations with the and you have to forgive me again for my pronunciation, Burati local authorities said to me, of course, CC, there is some conflict of interest between the leadership of shamanists and Buddhists, but the bulk of the people don't really care. They come to the Buddhists and shamanists whenever they need guidance. What's most important for them now is to live in mutual harmony. Ancient beliefs and traditions have influenced Buddhism after it spread here in the 17th century. Today, the Buratan Buddhists revere Baikal's pristine, untouched nature as a sacred place for all humanity. So I think what's going to be happening with Diana is she's sung this wonderful song, a very spiritual song, almost like a connection between, and Russia is known as Mother Nature, so think of this logically, that she's singing, and Diana has such a love and fascination for Mother Nature, her home country, plus nature, plus trees, plus birds, spiritually, that this song suits her so well, and to perform it in such an epic way. Congratulations to everybody involved in the editing, the filming, the song itself. Congratulations, because the Spirit of Baikal, which will be released on October the 19th, is something I'm looking forward to, for the reasons I've just mentioned. Now, I will tell you more about Lake Baikal after we've heard Diana Ankudinova's extraordinary performance as a spiritual, I would say, goddess. And the earth is connected to the sea. Without the sea, the earth wouldn't exist without water. So she, to me, in this, is a spiritual goddess of Lake Baikal. The words come up in English. Obviously, in Russian, you will understand her singing. And I will put the lyrics in the description when I eventually write them down. But for now, I need to listen and absorb Diana's extraordinary voice. And not since Shevchenko have I sat back and went, wow, the world needs to hear this. So I need to stop talking. Come back for more information on Baikal straight after.
Твои потери воют черной дырой. Мы в ней исчезаем вместе с тобой.
Oh, what a lot I've got to say, but I know I've got to keep this video short. Diana, that was epic. That was sensational. That was incredible. That was seriously the most dramatic and moving and deep and visually deep song you've ever done. But this is what I said years ago. I've been supporting Diana for many, many years on my channel. I've done over 23 reactions. Diana, this is 24. You are the top performing artist on my channel because of the love and support you have. And I have something to share before I continue. Diana Ankudinova fans, thank you for all of you who subscribe to my channel because I supported Diana for so many years. I also want to say, since January 2023 to now, I've exceeded thousands of subscribers that have pushed my channel to its first 1.3 million views. I've hit the 1 million views because of all of the Diana fans that have continuously watched and repeated to watch my videos. So thank you, Motherland Russia, and thank you for that one person from Portugal, or was it I think it was Portugal or Chile, that introduced me to Diana Ankudinova all those years ago, and they know who they are. Thank you. I've now reached my first million because of you. So I wanted to say that. But back to Diana. It is a spiritual song. It is about love, the inside, the outside, and it's about that young boy. Why a young boy feature and Diana in the water tossing and turning? I'm going to put it in a very short synopsis, my interpretation, and please respect it, because with Diana Ankudinova videos, I do always go outside the box and give you my perspective, because everybody has a different way of looking at it. And this is it, my synopsis of what it's about. Then I'll get back to the bio of Baikal that's very interesting, that's inspired this. Diana is, the reason there's the wee boy is because when a man is lost and he's searching for love, we become that wee boy. That's how we are. That's how we deal with things. We're lost. Which way do we find ourselves? Which way do we go? And there's Diana as a spiritual goddess guiding that person from her heart, saying, you don't need to be the little boy that's lost. Like the ice that's covered, you're frozen. You don't know which way to go. There's cracks, because there's always cracks with emotions, there's always cracks with love, and you'll find that opening and just follow it through the snow, and the heat of your passion, the heat of your love will guide us. Snow, ice, the elements will never stop what's going to happen. Your spirit's like the wolf, mine is spiritually like Baikal and the spirits of the lake. Together spiritually we'll find each other and we'll come together, and instead of being that little boy feeling lost, you'll be the grown man feeling loved, because you'll have my love. That's my summary of the video. So congratulations, Diana. I'm not going to analyze the lyrics too deep. That was my whole summary of the lyrics. It's about lost love, it's about finding love, it's about going within yourself and following your instinct to achieve success in love. And Diana is that guiding spirit that will guide her love and his love together the way it's meant to be. And the little boy will eventually become that man, find the love, find the light, and spiritually be at peace. It's about being at peace with oneself, with nature, with yourself. Don't forget, we are the middle ground. Our spirits are middle ground. We have heaven, as the Buddhists will tell you, and we have our feet on the ground. And Mother Nature takes us on a journey through this world. And that is one of them as well, finding peace of mind and heart in love. That's what the whole video to me is about. We come now to the final bit. I don't want to be going too deep into this. I want to give you the final bit of Baikal, because I want you to Google it, the lakes, and enjoy all the videos you see of it. It's a wondrous, beautiful place. Baikal's eastern shore is one of the most beautiful, though not exactly reachable, destinations in Russia. The lake's purity is amazing. Its fresh water is so transparent, one can see the ground 40 meters deep in the calm weather. Do you know that Croatia also has lakes like that, and it seas all around Croatia? I could not believe that I was in a boat looking down, and everywhere you go, you can see right to the bottom. It's so pure. And I called Croatia one of the eighth, no, I will get things right today. I will call Croatia the eighth wonder of the world. But for me, everybody talks about the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy and all these things. I think when I go to this Lake Baikal, and someday I will, I can't believe Diana's doing this. It's made me so emotional because I have read about this place so much, and these notes are my own notes because these come from me contacting people about the lake and then giving me answers. So it's such a joy to share this today with everybody. So anyway, the ring of hills and mountains surrounds the lake that reflects it like a mirror. It's the middle of May and some of the most picturesque bays are still covered in thin ice. And that's how I reflect this video. It's almost like telling my story of what I've been told, what I've felt, what I've read about, what I've researched. How wonderful today is for me. And I've reached 1 million views. I'm so happy. So the National Park Rangers invite people on the airboat for a swift ride around several little islands. One offers magnificent views from the top of its forest, a covered hill. That's if you ever go here. You will have been warned to stay away of the bears who sometimes can be seen around. Now the place is swarming with rich life, wildlife, and it's a wonderful destination for family vacations. Getting there, however, can be a challenge. The easternmost scenic shore of Baikal is about 5 driving hours away from the main city in the area, Ulan-Ude, and extensive parts of the road are as bumpy as a washboard. A solid vehicle is required, and the passengers must be strong and healthy enough to endure the travel. You can set your tent in a designated area to live on the shore, but there aren't any hotels for those who prefer more comfortable rooms. Still, the lack of tourist infrastructure doesn't upset anybody that visits in this national park. This area is visited by about 30,000 people a year as it is, and it's continuously increasing. And the roads are improving. There is talk of new hotels, but I don't think too many. I think it's of such significance, and the water is so pure. They want to keep the purity of the water. They don't want pollution from the hotels, which I can understand, which will probably bring many more, and it could increase the threat to the lake's fragile environment. So I think Russia will actually impose sanctions, and the people and the Buddhists and the Shamists will all come together and say, no, keep it the way it is. Sometimes it's like Cuba, the country. America so wants to get its hands on Cuba, and I feel if they do, they'll destroy it with tourism and burger bars and all the American things that ruin a city and ruin tourist destinations and places of beauty. I would hate that for this Lake Baikal. I would hate that to happen. It's so beautiful. Watch videos on YouTube, everybody. It's so beautiful. What Russia has, what the motherland has, is something that needs to be protected by every politician who has Russian blood in them, to protect this lake and say no to the hotels. No, we're not going to destroy this beautiful place, because honestly, it would be horrible to destroy the lake's fragile environment and centuries of spirits oozing out of the waters, and people who go there for spiritual healing. Come on, we need a place like that in this world. If so, the lack of respect to the lake is shocking to many of the native Brits already, the people of Mongolian origin who joined the Russian Empire 350 years ago. Traditionally, they revere Baikal, glorifying it in their songs and poems as a living being having its will and spirit. it conforms to the ancient religion of the southeastern Siberia, the shamanism, still keeping its presence nowadays, despite the more recent spread of Christianity and Buddhism and the decades of disfavor in Soviet times. Now, both shamists and Buddhists have told me of their deep esteem towards Lake Baikal, believed to be not just a wonder of nature, but also a place of great spiritual power. The pristine lake is the true heritage of humanity that needs to be preserved for generations to come. So Diana Ankudinova, thank you for bringing a spiritual light upon Baikal. And I hope I've informed you of its world importance as one of the world's greatest living lakes ever. We need to preserve it. Take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.